Hey everybody. So this coming week it would be 4 months since we landed in Vancouver as a family and started our new life over here. And it's been an interesting journey, you know. I mean, we were sitting in South Africa. We actually had flights booked for the 16th, which would be today, 4 months ago, to fly straight to Vancouver with, what was it, the Dutch airline, KLM. And then at that time, suddenly what started happening was flights were getting shut down. South Africa, KLM were postponing, saying, no, only next week, only next week. And the whole thing went all like a little bit pear-shaped. So we made the decision to just buy tickets to America because we could still fly on to America on Qatar Airways. So we flew straight through to Seattle. We rented a car there and we drove through the border. And we literally just made it into Canada, you know, just in the nick of time, because shortly after that, I know that everything started shutting down. It's like flights and everything. People are still struggling. So we are here. We're very happy about it. And it's been an interesting 4 months. I mean, we learned quite a lot. One of the things we definitely learned is that we absolutely love it here. It's like, I was saying to Belinda today, it's amazing how, it might not just be Vancouver, but it's amazing how the kids have started opening up, you know. They seem so much more happier. Yeah, well, when we arrived here, they were obviously a little bit skittish, you know, in a new school and everything. In the meantime, Angelique's just made a new friend. She actually had a sleepover yesterday on Friday where she went and slept over at a friend's house and they had fun. I had a beer with the father. It was all awesome. I mean, it's just great. So she's very, very happy. Connor, even though he still plays games and it's still his main thing, he now has friends from school that he plays games with and they shout and scream and carry on. So that's also cool. I can definitely see that everybody's happier. Now, obviously, I do believe it's got to do with the fact that we live in an absolutely brilliant place and that, you know, it's beautiful and we've got space and we're not crammed together. It's a big house. And then I guess it's also got a lot to do with the fact that we are now kind of settled. I mean, remember before this, since 2016, we were on the road all the time. I mean, we never settled down. I think the longest we stayed in one place was like 5 or 6 months that we lived in one property. We were always just bouncing on to the next one, whether it was South Africa or the US or Canada. We were all over the place. And now we've settled down, so we started making a life. And I think that also helps. Well, I'm pretty sure that also helps. So far, do we love Canada? Heck yeah, we do. And we've been meeting so many interesting people. I did book deliveries, because the Innovate Vancouver book arrived. So I started doing a few deliveries and dropping it off. And I actually love it, because you go out there and you meet all these people. I mean, I met a guy whose job is to do documentaries of famous people. He did he traveled with the Dalai Lama for an extended period of time and documented his life. He traveled with Meryl Streep and documented her life. And those documentaries aren't for public distribution. Those documentaries, the niche that he's working in is he makes documentaries of these famous people, but for their families. So it's never going to be put on Netflix or anything. It's just for the family to remember them by. How cool is that? Can you imagine having a job where you're traveling with a Dalai Lama, or I don't know, he's got a whole lot of very famous people there. I think it can become interesting sometimes. But anyway, so I met this guy. I met Angelique's friend. The father is a writer. He writes the stories for video games and a couple of TV shows and things like that. He's working on TV shows and things like that. But he's the plot writer for video games. He's written the plot for like a whole bunch of video games. How awesome is that? There's such cool and interesting people. And it's weird. What's weird is that, and once again, I can't just say it's because it's Vancouver, but, you know, can I say it's Vancouver? I can, because for us, I think what it did is it gives us this openness, we're feeling free, and we're feeling we're not worried. We're not. How would I put it? I wonder. It's hard to explain. It's almost as if, it's like we're meant to be here. And don't get me wrong. I know a lot of it's just up here in our own minds. We convinced ourselves of that. But still, it works. And what happens is it makes me feel free enough to walk up to people and to meet them and to chat with them and to find out what they do and to interact with them, and that is so cool. Sometimes you just got to do it. I think that's one of the things that I probably regret most in my life, is that I was always, well, my friends wouldn't say that, but I always felt like I was a little shy. I always felt like I wouldn't just like go up to anybody. I was always a little bit worried. Oh shucks, what if that, maybe the guy feels, whatever. I don't even know what I was scared of, or the person. And I've decided to change that. Could also be age. I just turned 50 last year, so maybe that's the thing. But the bottom line is that that's something that you got to do. And I started doing it here in Vancouver. I catch the neighbors outside when they take out their rubbish. We had drinks with a neighbor the other day. Great people, awesome people to meet. So yeah, we love it, we enjoy it. Still a lot of work to do. Belinda is going for a job interview this week. Hold thumbs, folks. That would be really really awesome if she gets the job, because if she gets the job, then that allows us to apply for our permanent residency. Looks like the dog's chasing somebody. So if she gets the job, it allows us to apply for our permanent residency, which is obviously our ultimate goal. So yeah, please hold thumbs. But I think the job's perfect for her. Well, I think she's perfect for that specific job that she's going on the interview for. So, can't wait. She's actually got Angelique busy doing makeup, and she wants to look pretty and ready for the job. Kids are happy in school. They all enjoy it. Yeah, it really is nice. I mean, there's been issues, obviously. There's always issues, getting the paperwork done. The driver's license thing with Belinda, where she got unlucky. There's still a crap load of paperwork that needs to be worked through, and nothing is a guarantee just yet. 6 months, not 6 months from now, where are we now? 3 months from now, August, where are we? May, June, July, end of August, we need to find a new home. Rental prices in this place is like ridiculous. So, but now we've got the kids in school here. They've made friends in this new school, and we promised them we're not going to move. So that's going to be an interesting one, figuring out how we stay in the same area so that the kids can carry on going to that school, because the rental prices over here is just, it is expensive. Although, people say, go to some of the outlying areas, and yes, you find a little bit better, but it's not like half the price or anything, unless you go really far out. Anyway, we believe that things always work out, so whatever will be, will be. I'm pretty sure we'll find something. I'm launching a couple of side hustles. We've got a couple of books in play. There's a bunch of things going on, and then with a little bit of luck, we'll make it. Either that or we win the lottery. One way or another, we'll find a way to stay here. One thing I've learned is that it doesn't help to worry too much about the future and whatever we expect to happen or what could happen. It's better to just deal with what actually happens. Do a little bit of planning and try and organize it, but don't worry too much about what things you can't control. What did me and my best mate Moritz, we always used to say, the end of the world is a really big bang. That's when that asteroid comes from outer space and it smashes into Earth and the whole thing blows up. And that, my friends, would be the end of the world. Anything else, Nah, you're still going to wake up tomorrow. It might feel like the end of the world. It might feel like there's, oh man. You know what? Tomorrow you're still going to wake up. You're still going to carry on. And what you're going to do is you're just going to figure out how to deal with it. Funny story. So earlier this week, I told you in one of the other videos about our little soap dispenser with a 20-second timer. So, you know, we got to get this thing going. It's not selling that well. I think we overpriced it a little bit. So I dropped the prices. I set up advertising campaigns and I'm ready to go. And then on Monday, I get a message from Amazon. We have removed your listing from Amazon because your product was classified as a pesticide. As a pesticide. I mean, it's a automatic foam hand soap dispenser with a built-in hand wash timer, and it was classified as a pesticide, so Amazon shuts it off. We're sitting with 1,000 units of this thing. Now we're like, oh my gosh. But you know what? I actually didn't even go, I just went, ha, it's funny. You know, it is actually funny. So what did we do? We just started. First you had to do like this whole thing where you did we had to do a pesticide sellers training course, which we did. And then we went through the whole process and we got it relisted. It was relisted yesterday, so it's all good to go. But this is the cool part. This is the funny, this is the crazy part. So on Monday, I get this thing. We go into overdrive to try and sort it out. And we are forced to do this pesticide. It's the FIFRA Act in the US. It's the act about pesticides. It's like a whole thing with a whole lot of laws and crap. And the reason ours got classified as a pesticide was because on the description we said it helps you to kill bacteria and viruses. And if those words are anywhere on anything, then it gets classified as a pesticide. Luckily we could go delete them. But anyway, back to the story. So we on Monday this happens. I do the course Monday afternoon. Now I know everything about pesticides. I know what to look for. I know everything. I'm all good. And guess what happens on Tuesday morning? Another opportunity opens up. Somebody calls us, and it's a product that we want to bring into the US from South Africa and sell here and everything. Long story short, I'm not going to go too deep into that. But because of that whole pesticide course that I did on Monday, because Amazon shut me down, because of that, on Tuesday, when this opportunity came up, I knew everything about it. How cool is that? If I had not done that pesticide course on Monday, I would have approached this opportunity in completely the wrong way. I would have screwed it up because I would never have known that this product would be classified as a pesticide, and I would never have known that if we brought it in the current format we will be in trouble. But because Amazon shut me down on Monday, I did the course on Monday afternoon. On Tuesday the opportunity presented itself and I knew exactly how to deal with it. Serendipity, you know. I believe there's always a reason for things, why things happen. And it's not always a bad reason. You just got to look for the good side. You just got to look for why did it happen. You know, look at the glass half full. Anyway, too much of a rant. Back to what we think about Canada. Yes, sirree, we love it. And this is where we want to stay. And with a little bit of luck, if you all hold thumbs, Belinda's going to get that job this week. And if she gets that job, the first thing we do the very next day, we start our PR application so that we can live here for the rest of our lives. All right, you all have a good one.